Welcome to Inside Tulsa Athletics. I'm Mick Wilson, your host, sitting in for the legendary J.V. Haney, who's out on medical leave today. Today we'll be visiting with Adina Milner, the head swim coach at Booker T. Washington, Joanna Bentley, the head swim coach at Memorial High School, Eli Brown, the Central High School boys basketball coach, Randy Rutherford, McLain High School boys basketball coach, Scott Bowman, Webster High School boys basketball coach, and Kashima Frierson, the head girls coach at McLain High School. Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and we're with our state championship coach, Adina Milner. I'll make sure I get that right, Adina. And I'm sure you're looking forward to a great week of swimming. It's going to be a tough week of swimming, obviously, but we're really proud of the job that you've done with the Hornets. Obviously, your boys are defending 5A state champions, and now we've moved up to 6A. Your girls are former runner-up or runners-up last year in the 5A, and of course now you're moving to 6A with them as well. So kind of let us know what your season has gone like and the preparation that has led up to this time.
It's definitely been a motivational change. The rapport, once all the kids found out that we had gone to 6A, you know, they just kind of dropped because they were on such a high from winning, and the girls were runner-up, and they really wanted to go in. The boys wanted to be able to defend their championship, and the girls really felt like they had a chance finally against Stillwater. So it's definitely been a challenge for us coaches to keep them motivated, keep them going, and to, you know, they're good swimmers. They know how to train, and we just had to up the training and tell them that they can do it. So they've done really well throughout the season. I think that they've really gone with every meet. I didn't, you know, with happiness, and we can do this. This is, you know, look, you know, we're on top. We're still feeling pretty good about ourselves, and I think, you know, we went into regionals. I felt very positive, and they felt pretty decent about their placement. But it was definitely a game changer once we got in and we started swimming, and I'm very proud of them. They never gave up though for that whole meet. This day one, day two, they all were able to find that smile, even if they didn't make it in. They didn't make it into the second day, and I think the hardest part for me as a coach was how disappointed they felt in themselves when actually they swam really well. It was just a different competition. And so that was really hard. That was hard for me as a coach to experience, because I felt bad for the kids. And so, you know, but with that being said, we had 5 girls that made it individual. All 3 of their relays made it in, and 10 boys made it into their individuals, and all the relays made it in. And so, you know, the boys made 5th place at regionals, and the girls got 7th. So, you know, we weren't dead last, and we got people in, and all the relays made it, and they are still should be proud of themselves, you know, for never giving up. It was definitely an emotional roller coaster for them.
Where do you think you guys will stack up, looking at some of the times and some of the competitions and probably people you faced this year? Where do you think you guys will fall? Do you think you're right there with some of either your relays or some of your individuals? Where do you think you're going to be able to probably have your best opportunity to score some points?
I think some of our relays definitely have gone in there and they're pretty on top, and so that's good. They should be proud of that against these 6A teams, and already made it into the top 8 before we've made it to state. And so hopefully we can, with our training that we've been doing, trying to kind of take them back up, to take them back down, because the way swimming works and tapers, it's hard to go between 2 championships. So, and a few of the individuals, I think they can go in there, especially on the boys' side. They really have some chances to make some points. And so really, you know, we're just going in there and you know, not so much as just worrying about where we place, but let's go in there and swim as hard as you can and be proud of that.
What do you feel like you're going to try to accomplish? While obviously you're going to go to Edmond and have a nice time and be able to spend the night, and the kids are going to have a good time. Any sightseeing ventures, anything just to kind of maybe get away from the swim part and do some educational type things?
Our team definitely has some traditions that I'm not really allowed to talk about. So there is state traditions that they do. We go out to dinner. We try to, I think with it being so busy and stuff, at my booster club, they're really good about planning everything and having this, and they have a thing that they do called Cry Fest, and so we make sure that they have time to do that. And
Don't give away too
and
much
I
now.
cannot give away
We
what
don't
that
want 'em
is.
upset.
That's right. So they have their thing that they do with especially with kids that haven't been to state, kind of like a little yay, this is what we do at state, and this is what it's like. Here's your experience. And so we definitely give them time to do that. And of course, it's always mostly about food. Swimmers and food. They love food.
I've heard that on numerous occasions, but it's a great experience for the kids. They've worked hard throughout the year to get to this point, not only in the classroom, but in the arena of competition, and we want our kids to go and have a good time. So we really want to wish you guys luck and to
Thank
tell you
you.
congratulations. And any last words here before we go to break?
I really hope that we can start making a difference in swimming and make swimming matter more and make it more for the kids, what's the best for the kids, so that they can have the best experience and feel good about themselves.
Well, Adina, thanks for being on Inside Tulsa Athletics. And we will return to Inside Tulsa Athletics in a few moments with Joanna Bentley, head swim coach at Memorial High School.
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to tulsarefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. tulsarefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
My dad's always saying a little extra effort now will really pay off later. Here's how you can put in just a little extra effort and help out our schools in a big way. Just switch your checking account to TTCU. It's easy, and every time you use your school pride card, TTCU donates to our schools. So far, over $1 million. They're the only ones doing that. So make the switch to TTCU and be the person who's making a difference for our schools.
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to tulsarefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. tulsarefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics when we're with Joanna Bentley, the head swim coach at Memorial High School. And Joanna, it's an exciting time for you as you prepare the Chargers for the state swim tournament.
It is. It is. I'm very excited about it.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you guys have had going on recently and some of your qualifiers and what you're looking forward to this week as you enter the state tournament?
I have 7 from Memorial that qualified to go to state, individual swims, and 3 relays. And my top girl swimmer is Jenny Lampkin, and my top boy swimmers are my seniors, Tim Rogers and Preston Jensen and Nicholas Charette. And then I have some freshmen and a sophomore that are going to go up and do individual swims as well. I'm very excited for all of them.
What is the outlook? I mean, do you feel like team-wise you're going to be able to qualify and score some points, or individually, obviously, you make an impact, but where do you think your best opportunities are going to be to really make some noise at the state meet?
Our relays are going in the top 8 in times, which is where you want to be positioned. Tim is going in ready to be in the top 8 in the breaststroke, which is where he wants to be. And then the rest of the boys are going to pull up very close. Jenny will be pretty close to being in there. I'm very excited to see them both.
Do you feel like that this is where you need to be? Everyone's swimming at their very best here late in the season when you really want people to peak and do well at the right time? Or do you guys feel like you're on track to arrive at that point?
I think we are. I think that they continue to prepare. This week is a light week of swim. We have a fun meet that we're going to tonight that has just to let them release some energy. And then they have 2 more practices this week, and then off they go.
What do you really really changed this week about your regimen and your approach to the way you do things. Do you change much, or do you really maybe try to back off a little, push a little more? Where do you think you're at as you prepare this week?
Work more on the psychology of it. We've done all of the heavy work, the long swims, the intense swims. Now we work on the timing of their starts, the making sure that they know which order that they're going to be in the relays, and just work on the mental issue of being prepared. At this time of year, as you can tell, I've got a little bit of a head cold. Kids are fighting everything. They're fighting their health, their energy, and their grades. So just keeping on top of it with them.
I think that's important, and just really stress health and taking care of yourself this week, being healthy and being your best ready to go, as well as eating right and training correctly, and those things are certainly important. Where do you feel like in your 12 years as swim coach at Memorial High School, where do you feel like this group falls with some of the good teams that you've had over the years? And again, what do you think your chances are at the end of this week to maybe bring home some medals?
I think that this group is in the top 3 that I've had. 2010, 2011, and 2019 are my strongest years going into state. And I really see the kids pushing through and coming home with medals as well as points.
Well, we're excited for you, and we know that the group has worked hard and put in a lot of long hours. Hopefully you feel like you're excited and you're confident and ready to go. But are there any people that you're going to swim against that maybe you've seen this year that you know you can kind of gauge where you think you'll come out, or kids that maybe you have a rivalry with, or other swim teams you have a rivalry with it as you move toward the state meet?
Our biggest competition is going to be Hera and Ulaga and Fort Gibson. I really feel strong in both of those areas, or in all of those areas. We took a road trip and went to Altus and had a wonderful time swimming against them. They are former 5A championships for boys. They look extremely strong, but we look to give them a run.
That's great that they've gone up against some of the best competition. You feel confident. Are there any things that you foresee that you could run into, any issues along the way, or you think the kids are completely prepared? You think we're ready and ready to really make a run at this thing here in the next few days?
Oh, I think they're ready. They just got to stay healthy.
How about anything that as you move forward, that you're really looking forward to as far as taking your team and going through the experience that, it's such a great time for kids to be able to experience state meets and the time to get away and get together. And of course, you worry about kids that they've got to get into the motel and kind of get in. They're not sleeping in their own bed, things like that. But are you ready? The kids are ready for this great experience, you think?
Oh yes, they are. They are. We have phenomenal parent support that is going along and keeping them in line. The boys are just really excited, just super pumped. We have plans for places that we want to visit while we get the chance to be in Edmond and Oklahoma City. They talk about what they want to go eat. I'm like, you always talk about what you want to go eat, and it'll be fun. We're excited about it.
I mean, you've got to hit the top eating places and hit some of the sites to see. But it's a great educational experience for the kids as well. Obviously, as you know,
Yes.
when you take them to a state meet, and as long as they can stay focused on the competition and get in bed at a decent hour and experience some of those things, then it'll be a great opportunity for them. So, Joanna, once again, we want to thank you for your service to Tulsa Public Schools and the years of consistency and the guidance that you've brought to the kids is great. So we want to wish you luck.
Thank
I
you.
hope you guys do well, and look forward to having you back on Inside Tulsa Athletics. We'll return to Inside Tulsa Athletics with Eli Brown, head boys basketball coach at Central High School.
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff. Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
We're back on Inside Tulsa Athletics, and we're with Eli Brown, the head boys basketball coach at Central High School. And Eli, it's an exciting time of year. It's the time of year that you play well, playoff time, and I know the Central Braves always, with their tradition, answer the call.
Yes, sir. We love this time of year. It's time to really see what you are made of and kind of give your kids a chance at a new season, new beginning, and it's fun. It's a great time of year.
Do you feel like that you guys are prepared and ready? Have you made the progress and the progression throughout the year, gotten a little better, peaking at the right time, all those things necessary to make a run here back to the state tournament for the Central Braves?
I do get that feeling. We ended the year with a 7-game win streak. And so I feel like our guys are starting to figure out what we are really good at and diminishing our weaknesses. I also feel that our kids are buying into the system. I mean, we're growing up. We're still young. I mean, so we start one senior and bring back everybody else. And so we went through our growing pains in December, played a tough schedule in our tournaments in Mustang and Broken Arrow. And so we got through that, and here we are.
Not a lot of those kids have had a taste of some of the success that you guys have had, even back to your state championship team and to great run you made with Elijah and some of those kids. But these guys are starting to figure it out, and I'm sure they see those names on the wall and understand what it means to be a Central Brave.
Sure. They understand what comes with putting on that jersey, and they understand that it's night in and night out, you got to bring it. It is a tough conference. It is 4A is a tough group of teams that bring it every night. If you look at, the rankings in 4A, we don't have a team that's below 500, and the same is not said for other classes. So we know we have to bring it, and our kids understand that, playing at Central means a lot of tradition there.
Do you feel like you like where you're at with your draw playoff-wise? I'm looking here at the area and the districts and the regionals. Are you happy with the draw? I know this year we were able to finally, the last couple of years, we had to get our teams separated so that we've got everybody competing for the same thing, but you like where you're at? I
do. I like where we are as a team and our draw. I think that, we have to go through some tough teams in order to get there. And, the year we won, we had a tough draw. So I like where we are, and I think it'll be competitive, and I think it'll give us a great test when we enter the state tournament.
Without looking too far ahead, are there a couple teams that you've been watching all year that you know are going to be tough matchups for you?
Well, there's 4 in our area: Douglas, John Marshall, Mount St. Mary, and Lincoln Christian. I believe those 4 are all high-caliber teams who could, potentially make it into the state tournament. So I've been keeping track of those guys all year. So it's been good to understand that we got the teams that I've actually been tracking all year. So that helps us in terms of relativity too.
Eli, as you look back and you see the teams that you've coached that have made runs late into the season and even up to the state championship, and you compare the talent level of where you think you're at, how far off do you think you are, or are you ahead?
I think we're right there. I don't think we're ahead. I think we're right there. The team that won it was a more senior heavy team. But this team is just as big as that team and is just as athletic as that team. This team, to me, shoots it a little better than that team did. So I think we're right there. I think we got some steps to take, but I think we're not far off.
Well, that's pretty good because that team could really shoot the basketball.
Yes.
I've seen you guys play this year. You're playing an exciting brand of basketball, and it seems like these kids really like each other. And they're playing hard, and they play together. And and they're doing a lot of the things that it takes to be successful.
Right.
Has that been something you've had to really push on them as they're young and to learn to play together?
Yes.
Is that something that has been pretty easy?
No, it hasn't been easy. It's never. I can't lie to you and say, "Oh yeah, it was easy." No, it's not easy. And I think it's something that we refer back to every single practice, every single game. How to share the ball, play the right way. We try to do three things. We try to lift our defenders. We try to drive, and we try to find the open guy wherever the help comes from. And that's been the single thing that when we do those three things offensively, we're a much better team together. And it has come to fruition at a lot of critical moments in the season for us. And when we play that way and we play together and those kids space the floor out and we knock down shots and we get on the rim, it's a beautiful brand of basketball.
Well, it's been exciting to watch the growth of some of these kids because a lot of these groups now we've seen them since they were sixth graders, and now
Correct.
You have several of them. And so I can see where your challenge has been because a lot of those kids were eighth grade scoring whizzes in the junior high league.
Correct.
It's been fun to see these kids mature and start really figuring out what team basketball is.
Correct.
And I think part of that is due to you and your staff are really staying on those kids.
Thank you.
As we move ahead, what do you feel like are some things that maybe you need to get a little better on here as we get ready to run into the playoffs?
I think we can become a much better rebounding team. I think that's something that we should be close to the top of the state in, is rebounding with our length and our size. I also think that we can get more crisp with our offense and execution. I think in the playoffs you have to be able to execute. Good teams are going to slow you down and make you play in a half court, which means you have to execute. So I think that those are a couple of things that we can kind of shore up.
Feel like you're going to be able to look forward to both some matchups with some other teams? You feel like you got some things that you
Sure.
hurt other teams? You know, I always liked having a kid that was a tough guard, whether you had to put a big man on him or a small guard on him. Do you feel like you have some of the potential to be able to do that?
Oh yeah, I think we have a couple of kids who are lengthy and have long wingspans, and they can kind of shrink the floor against other teams who have quick guards and more downhill type players, and we can kind of bother their shots. So we think we can exploit some of those matchups and that'll help us out.
Of course, we don't want to give away all your game plans here late in the year, but we definitely enjoy watching you guys play.
Sure.
What do you feel like really is the one key thing that you really need to do well going into the playoffs? Make that run.
Make shots. Make shots and get stops.
Make shots and get stops makes you an unbelievable coach.
It makes me look good.
As we start to close here and we're running out of time, what do you really feel like? I look at our conference schedule, and how much do you think our conference, country conference, prepares you for what you're going to see here? Like,
you get a little bit of everything in our conference. You get some size, you get some speed, you get some athleticism, you get some shooting, you get great coaching. So I think being in our conference has helped me show our kids that, hey, we've seen it all. Throughout our 10, 11, 12 conference games, we've seen it all, and I think that we can refer back to that, which helps us down the stretch because nothing should surprise us.
Are there any last things that we really need to be aware of as we move forward? Anything that you'd like to share with us that we need to know ready to make this run? Because we're all excited about the Central Braves, trust me.
Yeah, you know what? We're excited as well. I just think that I would like people to know that it means a lot to our kids when they come out and show support. It means a lot to our kids, and if they show up in big numbers and show those kids you love them.
We've had great support. We've been able to do some things at Central. Booster our boys and girls basketball program from last summer, from redoing the floor and
Correct.
and doing some nice things, and that the addition of that back practice gym has been
it's awesome.
So,
it's awesome.
We want to wish you luck as you move forward, and we want to see you be
Thank you.
successful. And thanks again for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be right back on Inside Tulsa Athletics with head basketball coach Randy Rutherford of the McLain Titans.
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff. Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and we're with Randy Rutherford, our head basketball coach of our very own McLain High School. And I tell you, Randy, it's been a long season, been a good season for you, and I'm sure you've had some ups and downs, but talk to us about how we've arrived at this point as we prepare for the OSSA district, regional, and area playoffs, and let's visit a little bit about basketball and playoff time.
Oh, absolutely. You know, anytime you take a position as a head coach in a new school with a lot of new players, it's important for you to lay your foundation. So we knew it was going to be a process, and we was excited about the process. And so at this point, you know, we've been together for about 3 months and working really hard. And like I figured at the end of, you know, January and February, we'll be playing a lot better, so we are.
That's excellent. Do you, looking at the brackets and the pairings that they've announced, are you happy with where you're at? And obviously, I may know your answer already, but you know, we've made phone calls during the years and really tried to put our schools in the best position. You know, we've come a long way, Randy, from where we were when we used to have them all in one regional, and then someone had to stay home. So they've been real good to us. I don't know this year what you think, but kind of tell us about your drawing and who looks like the team to beat out of your
Well, I mean, you know, you're always excited when you have an opportunity to play in the postseason, so we're excited about that, but we're not happy to see Heritage Hall up there. I mean, they got some talent there, and they're very good. And so, but you got Bishop McGuinness, you got Elgin, you got some really quality teams in our area, in our district. So what we're going to do is take it one game at a time. We got Newcastle first, so we're going to prepare all week for them and put ourselves in the best position to be successful. And then after that, we'll look for what's next. But we're excited about the opportunity, and we look forward to playing.
Do you feel that you guys are playing well right now at the right time? You're making the progress that you wanted, and you're starting to play well at the right time, which is, as coaches, we're always looking to get our team to play well at the end of the season. Where do you feel like you're at on your timeline?
Well, I feel really good about where we are right now. I think we have a couple of injuries, but I think with this week off, it allows us to really process and get better at what we're trying to do. And our team is actually playing a lot better than we thought we would be playing, but we're playing good at the right time. So we're really excited about that. We're going to build on winning 4 out of our last 6 and beat some quality teams in Rogers and Webster. And so we look forward to the challenge, and we're excited about this week to prepare for Newcastle.
Let's talk a little bit about that. You talk about that you've played some of the conference schools, and that's getting you ready with people that aren't in the inside day-to-day grind of what we have in Tulsa Public Schools and our conference basketball. Talk about how our teams are so good and how that does prepare you for the playoffs.
Well, I mean, for us at McLain, I mean, we were blessed enough to play against 5A and 6A a lot of our games of this big school. So it allows us, if you do a good job of communicating to your kids, and it's not so much about winning every game, but it's how you perform and you get better. You know, you learn more from losing than you do winning. So for us, with a very young team, we was excited about the opportunity to play a lot of teams in our local area where we used to. So, you know, we've got to play Webster, Rogers, East Central, and Central, who's in our class, and we played them twice as well to see what it's like to play against a top-rated 4A school. So we're excited about where we are and the opportunity that we've had in the past, but we're really excited about the future in this postseason.
Where do you feel like right now your strength as a team? Talk about maybe a little bit about your defense, your offense, being able to push the ball, or the times I've watched you guys have done a great job of being patient. You're moving the ball, you're screening, and you're taking good shots. Talk to us a little bit about where you're at philosophically with this team.
Well, the one thing about any coach in your team is to make sure that you put those guys in a position to be successful. And, you know, starting off, you have to figure out what your strengths and your weaknesses are, as you pointed out. And we feel that we're guard heavy. We feel that we're really good defensively at times. We think our bigs are come along a good ways, and so we're excited about that. But right now, I feel that if we can play defense, and I always say shorten the game when you don't have a lot of height and you have a lot of immaturity, it's important for us to take good shots, create, you know, we call it PNP, penetrating for your teammates, to make your teammates better. So right now, I think we're starting to understand that, and going into the playoffs, that's very important.
Do you feel, Randy, that's been probably some of the hardest things you've had to teach being a new coach, is just for them to adopt your style of play? Because obviously with you being a new coach and Coach Love's style of play was somewhat different than yours. Where do you think you are in that timeline?
Well, I think right now they really respect what the coaching staff has been doing. Like you said, anything you do is going to be a process, and the styles may be a little bit different. But I believe we always have the same thing in mind where, you know, I believe if you can defend and you can rebound, you can put yourself in a position to be successful. So I think since we're guard heavy offense, and I was a guard in college and playing professional, I think the guards are starting to understand what we want from them. And I think they're starting to enjoy playing together, playing for each other, and doing the little things. You know, defense is always going to travel.
Well, I've enjoyed watching you guys play this year, and I really like your patience offensively. I like how well you're guarding people and keeping them in front and making them take tough shots over pressure. Do you think you've got a lot of that from your playing days with Coach Sutton? How much of Coach Sutton's philosophy has bled into what the McLain Titans are doing this year?
There's no question I have a lot of Coach Sutton in me, and so everywhere I've coached and every where I'm around people and talking about basketball, we always talk about coach. And I believe that the fundamentals of basketball are based on defense and rebounding. And it doesn't really matter how much talent you have. If you can consistently do those things, you give yourself a chance to be successful. I think my guys understand it. Everybody loves winning. And they starting to realize if you do the things that we ask you to do, take care of the ball, share the ball, and be really communicative to each other in every possession, I think when you win games, it's easy for that message to come across.
As you move toward the end of the season and we move toward playoffs, can you also let us know a little bit about upperclassmen? Are we having some upperclassmen that are recruitable, or is this year kind of a year that maybe we don't have as many, but we have a lot of, as you talked about earlier off the air, some of the freshmen are starting to figure things out. Talk to us a little bit about what you see toward the end of this year and then what you'll build on for next year.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I've noticed. I mean, we don't have a lot of seniors that are college D1 level talent, but we have a lot of good seniors that really helped us in laying the foundation for these young guys, and they come in and work hard every day. We have a few injuries right now, but like you were saying, I mean, our freshmen and our sophomores, man, they're going to be really good if we can keep those guys doing the things we're doing, buying into what we're trying to accomplish. And, you know, like I said, we got to play a lot of freshmen the other night against right here at Webster, and, man, they were excited. I mean, it's just an opportunity for them to see what they need to do to get better and to grow. So we look forward to this postseason, but we're really excited about the offseason. That's what we're really excited about, that where we can really get some individual work in and get some weight strengthening in. And so we're excited about the future at McLain.
That's good, because I've really enjoyed watching you guys play. I think you guys have had some great experiences this year, being able to go to some tournaments and gain some invaluable experience of playing on the road, playing in a hostile environment, playing away where you're not at home at night, sleeping in your own bed. And those things are all what prepares you for the state tournament. And obviously the great tradition of Coach Pegues and Coach Love, where they played such a tough schedule during the season. You may go in at a 500 record, but hey, you're right there in the state tournament, and I don't think this year will be any exception. I think you guys are going to be right there and be ready to play.
Oh, there's no question about that. I mean, they've laid a good foundation. Coach Pegues has done a great job, and Love did a great job. So for us, we don't really look at the record. You know, I look at, are we improving? And our guys, we make them understand that. So we feel good about where we are. We feel good about where we're going. We're looking forward to the postseason, and we're looking forward to the future. So the guys are excited about this opportunity. The young guys are going to continue to grow, and the older guys are going to embrace this last run as their seniors.
Well, Randy, we want to wish you luck here as the playoffs begin, and just tell you once again we appreciate the job that you do and the lives that you impact of these young men and really all the students of McLain High School. We want to wish you the best, and good luck, and thanks for being on the show today.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me.
We'll be right back with Inside Tulsa Athletics with head basketball coach of the boys here at Webster High School, Scott Bowman.
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
My dad's always saying a little extra effort now will really pay off later. Here's how you can put in just a little extra effort and help out our schools in a big way. Just switch your checking account to TTCU. It's easy, and every time you use your school pride card, TTCU donates to our schools. So far, over $1 million. They're the only ones doing that. So make the switch to TTCU and be the person who's making a difference for our schools.
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and we are joined by Scott Bowman, head boys basketball coach at Webster High School. Scott, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Good to see you, Coach.
Well, we're glad to have you today, and let's talk a little basketball. Let's talk about playoff time, and let's talk about your improvement and your team's improvement of getting ready to start hosting some playoff games.
Every year we've kind of focused, this part of the year is what our whole season's all about when we get into the playoffs and seeing how our matchups is and practicing each week for those teams we play in districts and regionals and so on. The last few weeks of the regular season was pretty good for us. We was up and down a little bit, but we saw some things that we can improve on from that, and the things that we do well that we can just try to sharpen up too a little bit. But defensive is where we key on too, so we're going to try to do that and hope, we're young, hope our young kids can just hold the punches, because, in the playoffs, you're up and down each quarter. You might one quarter up 2, next quarter you might down 4. It's how can they handle those bad situations, which, they've been doing better as the season went on.
Scott, how do you feel do you like where you're at right now, and how do you feel that our conference, the Green Country Conference, has prepared you to get to this point?
Well, that's why I say a lot of people talk to me about that. Our record doesn't show what we've played. We're 4A and we play mostly 6A, 5A, even out of conference. Gets us battle tested, just like what I mentioned earlier about the playoffs, how you're ready for those. We know we're going to be down. We've been down against Jinx. We've been down against Memorial. And we didn't fight back against Memorial, but Jinx, we came back and made it a 1-point game. And, all those teams that we play are getting us ready for the playoffs. The conference is loaded. We ended up the season with Central and McLain, and really played one of our better games and a loss, and played one of our worst games. Those last few games are kind of tough because sometimes all your players aren't playing and aren't clicking together, so they're kind of looking ahead to the playoffs. So that's kind of where I think we were at with McLain. Same way McLain with us, just kind of we were more thinking about our district game in those situations. But I'm excited. Players have been there. We got 3 starters back, so we got good experience coming into playing Bing.
Well, people don't understand, especially in your classification in 4A, what it's like night in and night out to go home and home with Memorial, to go home and home with Edison, to go home and home with East Central. And there's some other schools that you could probably play that are not nearly as strong, but they surely won't prepare you as well as for this time of year that you've been through. But you like where you're at.
I do. I wouldn't change the schedule for me. I wouldn't. I'm trying to schedule another one of the Frontier conferences, whether it be Broken Arrow or Muskogee or someone as our other open night. But, it shows us when we come into the playoffs and we can play these teams that hasn't seen anyone like us or play the style that we play, they're not prepared for it, and we've played all different, styles of players from the Frontier Conference, Metro Lakes. We play a lot of Metro Lakes in that Bishop Kelly tournament and stuff, so we're ready. We love the playoff time. We've done good. We've been to area every year, so been to state twice, so we're hoping to get a back-to-back this year.
Well, you certainly have an exciting team, and I know your guard play is really strong this year. That's been fun to watch. But I will say, there's been many years when you and McLain and even Central have a 500 record, and boy, you look up and you're in the area finals playing for a shot at that state berth, and I think that definitely helps you. But I know our basketball in the Green Country is just so strong and so good, and so we're excited. Where do you feel like right now do you feel like you're where you need to be playing wise? Are you peaking at the right time?
Well, I think we're gonna. No, I don't. I think we're playing pretty good right now, but I know we've got better basketball to play, and it shows up a lot. I felt the same way last year. I wasn't for sure what was our best points, our worst points, but it just kind of came together. The team itself, the leaders that found out who they were, because we really don't know who our leader is. It sounds crazy. We didn't last year, and it stepped up, and the Ward kid came along and really did what we needed to through the playoffs. I'm hoping these young guys will handle the role this year with Pritchard and Martwan Taylor, the sophomores. They're having to be our leaders because they were returning starters as freshmen, but. They're ready. We're getting to play in a different area than we've ever been. So get to see some teams who are one of the teams that are the reasons we are not ranked, because they don't know. They just look at the records and see, 10 and 12, well, they're no good, 11 and 12. They're not, they'll rank all these teams with 3 and 4 losses, but they don't look at the quality of teams they're playing. So we can kind of make a point to show them that, okay, maybe this team's pretty good if they come out 500 in that conference, because you can't take a night off. And that's the way it is in the playoffs. You get in the playoffs, you take one night off, your season's over, and it teaches us that we got to go hard every game.
Scott, a lot of coaches, and even up to the NCAA tournament, always say that at tournament time it's about guard play. Mm-hmm. And one thing that's exciting about you is you've got 2 sophomore guards that are as good as anybody around. Now those 2 guards obviously are sophomores, and you can take that for what it's worth. But also people don't realize they were both pretty instrumental in your serious run last year to the state semifinals.
Yeah, they both. Started every game last year for us, even through the playoffs. So they played in the Big House last year, and did well. They both had double-digit scores in those games in the tournament against Kingfisher and Seminole, good teams. They bring that experience back, so we're not going to be in shock or anything when it comes to area. If we're in that area finals or regional finals, we're just going to go and play our game. Like you say, with the guard play we got, we're comfortable. We're going to get the ball up the court. Now, can we just make shots and in our defense, will be good. But our other guard, that Martwan Taylor, his defense is unbelievable. He's got the best hands I've ever seen, and Pritchard's does everything.
How much do you think that have you talked to them about relying on that experience that you had last year during that run? Have you visited with them a lot about that?
Right. Yes, because the other guys, other than Tawan prior, they didn't see the floor much because we lost 3 seniors that played quite a bit, and then the other 3 were these 3 that are starting. So these other guys are going to maybe be a little bit, but then they know they're going to get the ball. They're in the situations. They're going to take control of the game and not put those players in situations they're not going to be comfortable with in the game. If, you know, they know who needs to take the last shot. When there's a lot of trap, we get a few turnovers, okay, Tawan Anthony's going to go get the ball and get the ball to Tata or get it to our scores. And our role players are knowing the roles. We've looked good the last few games. You know, I mean, we won 2 of our last 3 and played real well. You know, beat McLain, beat Rogers, and lost a close one to Central right at the buzzer. We had a shot, just didn't go. It went. We got called for a charge. So, I mean, those things happen and, you know, makes us better. So we'll just see where we go from there.
Well, looking at the brackets, talk to me. Do you like where you're at? I know we've had the lobby over the years, Scott.
Right.
We've been through this together. We've had the lobby some with
With our
OSSA to get people separated and to get things to give us all a shot at it. But do you like where you're at?
Well, I've gotten better as I've gotten coaching as far as looking at the playoffs and not being, well, why we. No matter what, you're going to have a tough game second round. No matter what. There's not any, you can look at any other area and I say, well, at least we don't have to play them. You know, so there's good and bad in every area that they choose. The good thing about this is, and conversely, the bad thing is, they don't know probably much about us and we don't know much about them. So, you know, they won't know what to expect from us as much. But, you know, we're going to prepare for them. We got film and I'm sure they'll have film on us too, but maybe there's some things we can do a little different they won't be ready for. So.
Well, I'm glad we talked about your guards. People need to get out and see you guys play because they're really exciting, and I really feel confident for you guys. Again, I'm not sitting in your chair. I have many years ago, but I haven't sat in your chair. But you've got to feel confident with your guard play. You've got to feel confident about your schedule and strength of schedule and those kind of things in order to get where we're at.
Well, all our guards right now, just like at the end of the game, we've won some game with free throws. I even believe the Central game, we was maybe 9 for 10, something like that in free throws. But Anthony Martwan and Tawan are all over 70% free throw shooters. So they got the ball at the end, foul us, we'll go to the line, we'll try to win the games. You know, I'm confident in that. It's not like I'm worried, and they keep the ball. You know, you can't guard all 3 of them. One of them will get the ball. And I mean, you just feel comfortable as a coach. I mean, you know, you need a big, good inside game, but I'm all about guard play. You know, us guards always think that when we guards are most important.
All you wanted to do was shoot it,
Shoot
Scott.
the ball. That's true. I didn't care about defense. Just give me the ball, let me shoot it. But no, these guys are really good at defense. That's one thing.
Well, Scott, we sure appreciate you being on today, and we want to wish you guys luck. And we know that good things are ahead with you at the helm, and we know your kids are excited and ready to move forward and make a journey back to the state tournament.
Great, appreciate it.
We'll be right back on Inside Tulsa Athletics with Clarence Glover, head girls basketball coach at Central High School.
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts? Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and we are with Clarence Glover, the head girls basketball coach at Central High School. And Clarence, first year, it's been an interesting one. I've been able to enjoy watching you guys play a couple times, but talk to us a little bit about the Central Girls Braves and where you think we're headed here as playoffs get ready to start.
Well, we got 5 wins this year, so it's been a step up from last year. So I'm excited about the girls and their progress. They've been working hard all season, and we've been led by Teresa Colbert, who's our senior, and she's been fantastic all year. And we just trying to get better each and every game. You know, going to the playoffs. You know, it's a new season, so we're going to reset and see if we can make a run here in the playoffs.
Obviously, the schedule playing in the Green Country has been probably in your favor in a way that it prepares you. But
Yes.
do you feel like you're really starting to play well and you're ready to go here at the right time?
I think we are. We try to get better, of course. The Green Country schedule gives you, games where you prepare yourself and get better. And we just trying to get better because we got Mojo, who's #1 team in the state. So we're gonna give it all we got.
Well, that's all you can do. Now, Clarence, you got ahead of me because I really didn't want to bring that up till the end because that's going to be a tall task. We can talk a little bit that as we move forward. But because we've had Muldrow the last 2 years in the Tournament of Champions and know what a great team they are, and probably arguably the best player in the state.
Yes.
The last couple of years, and obviously she's just a junior, and we'll see her again next year. But it will be a tall task, but that's what you have to sell your girls on, to be able to try to pull some kind of upset, or at least to try to play to get better as you look forward to next year.
Yes, she's a fantastic player. And we're a young team, and we getting better each and every game. Practice, we try to get better. So it just, we say trust the process. So we trust in the process of every day getting better, doing the things that we're supposed to do as a team collectively to make sure we doing the things that we're supposed to be doing for this time of the year. So I'm excited where we are. Anything can happen. Playoffs, anything can happen. So I'm excited about it.
Tell us a little bit about that. Expand on, you talked about having one senior. How is the makeup of your team this year, and what do we want to see here in the future as we get better?
Well, we have 3 seniors. She's leading us. She's obviously our leader. I think the other 2 seniors hadn't really played much as of last year. But we have 6 freshmen that we're playing. So, she's always been the leader of the team. She's always been in the forefront of making sure we're doing everything correctly. So she's always been there to show these young girls the path and the way to how to be a good competitor in basketball. And that's all we can ask, for as the girls, as freshmen, they got 3 to 4 years left, and she's setting that tone and that leadership skill that they can model after.
Well, it's so important to have someone that teaches the younger ones from day to day what it's like to practice every day, to grind it out, to have to get better, and to also be patient. Like you said, trust the process of getting better.
Yes.
And trying not to lose focus, because sometimes when you're not winning as many games as you'd like, that gets hard, and you have to keep the kids motivated.
Yes. They're self-motivated. When we call practice, the girls are there. They want to get better. They working diligently every practice. When we call practice, they're there. They're working on their craft. So as a coaching staff, that's all we can ask, and hopefully we see the progress each and every year as we continue in the process.
And I'm sure you share some of your collegiate and high school playing experiences as trying to direct them and to especially with your guards.
Yes.
Do you share a lot provide a lot of insight on what it's going to take to be successful?
Yes. I try to give some insight of what to look for. Just slow down as a guard. I tell them as point guards, it's tough. You got to be able to be the coach on the floor. The coach is telling you, the plays. You got a guard harassing you on defense. You got to get all your players in position. So it's tough as guards playing. But they're doing a great job of progressing each and every day.
Well, for those people that don't know at home, that you played with Michael Parrish, who's the head boys coach at Edison, and I will tell you, Coach Glover, you probably didn't get to shoot the basketball very much because Coach Parrish was probably putting it up back in the day.
He's definitely a shoot first guard. He's a 2 guard, so he gonna put it up. He called me G Love, so he said, G Love, and give me that ball.
So make sure you tell your girls to not shoot it every time. We talked about that always kind of being the scapegoat with kids, is when they don't know what to do, they just fire it up. And so you let them know that not to shoot the ball all the time like Coach Parrish.
Well, Coach Parrish, he was a great player in the shoe with me, so I learned some things from him. He can definitely stroke it. But these girls on our team, we're getting a lot of shooting in now, and we're seeing the progress of them making more shots. At the end of the day, you have to outscore your opponent. So, defense plays a major role, but if you can't put the ball in the hole, then you can't win. And these girls are working diligently every day too. We're getting a lot of shots in, and I see the progress. I see the result of their putting in that work.
Well, Coach Glover, we really appreciate you being on the show today. We want to wish you luck as you move forward here in the playoffs, and want to let you know that we appreciate the job you've done and the great example you've set for these kids as you move forward. And we really want to see you do well here in the playoffs.
I hope so. We hit the reset button, and anything can happen in the playoffs. So hopefully we can have a great showing in the playoffs moving forward.
Well, Coach Glover, again, thanks for being here, and we appreciate you being on Inside Tulsa Athletics.
Thank you, sir.
We'll be right back after this break with Kashima Frierson, the head girls basketball coach at McLain High School.
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
My dad's always saying a little extra effort now will really pay off later. Here's how you can put in just a little extra effort and help out our schools in a big way. Just switch your checking account to TTCU. It's easy, and every time you use your school pride card, TTCU donates to our schools. So far, over $1 million. They're the only ones doing that. So make the switch to TTCU and be the person who's making a difference for our schools.
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and joining us is Kashima Frierson, the head girls basketball coach at McLain High School. And Kashima, it's been nice to see your first year. It's been probably a long one. It's been a hard one, but it's also had a lot of successes along the way, and I know our kids have really enjoyed your coaching. And so can you tell us a little bit about your season as you get ready to start the playoffs this week?
It's been ups and downs, challenges here and there, but they've, accepted me, and like I said, challenges here and there, but it's been fun, exciting, but we're here, made it through. We're ready for the playoffs, and hopefully we can get over that hump and optimistic for the future.
Absolutely. Kashima, what do you feel like has been your biggest challenge this year as a first-year coach and taking over a program and some of the things you maybe have at times maybe have been frustrating, and then other times you found some real successes? Can you tell us a little bit about some of the things you've enjoyed the most this year?
The most challenging thing was the one gym, finding time to practice for all the teams. But we made it through, and the fun thing was the tournaments. In the Skytook tournament, the girls, they didn't realize that they got to play the defending 6A champions and the runner-ups of the 5A championships. So when they realized that, they were like, oh, wow. We didn't realize we played them. So that was a little bit of encouragement, So then we got to go up to the NEO tournament, and there was an overnight experience, time for them to have some bonding time. So they gave them a little bit more encouragement. So we came back here, finally got our first win after that tournament. So motivation. So
we've talked about the challenges this year of having one gym, and I know it's been a little frustrating at times. But boy, I tell you, look at the construction, and you look at the excitement that's surrounding McLain High School with our new field house and also a new practice gym in the back. Are the kids excited? Are you excited? The future of basketball at McLain High School with our new gymnasiums and facility upgrades. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yes, every day. When can we start? When are we gonna be able to get in there, Coach? Are we gonna be able to practice there? Not yet. We won't be able to get in there until after the summer. So just about every day, Coach, can we go? No, not yet. It's not gonna be ready until the season starts. But it's the build up, the hype is ready. The girls are ready. Apparently the boys are ready, because sometimes they ask me about it. But everyone is getting the anticipation for it, is building up the morale for both the girls and boys program. But everyone is excited.
Well, it's an exciting time, and it sure is. It makes it that much more exciting when you turn into the parking lot and you see this. I mean, it's just so large and almost dwarfs the high school in a lot of ways.
I actually said that myself. Yeah.
It's going to be an exciting time, and we're excited to, this is our third one we've got to see being built, and it's just a great time to get to go in. In fact, I'm ready to go in and see it myself, so we'll get a chance. As you move forward and continue to build your program, what are some of the things you're excited about on as far as returners, young kids that are playing? What do you feel like will be your strength moving forward?
Well, we're losing 4 seniors, so the fortunate thing is the team is majority sophomores. We had 2 freshmen. We have 2 freshmen this season, so we'll be able to build and we have a couple of 8th graders coming in. So off season, we're preparing for it, and the sophomore and freshmen and those 8th graders again, already. When are we starting off-season workouts? When can we start? So everyone is ready for it.
Speaking of your 8th graders, you did get to spend some time with those kids this year and get to work with them as well.
Yes.
Did you coach the junior high team this year?
I didn't coach, but I helped coach the 8th grade and 7th grade coach. I was on the bench with her most of the season at games where we didn't have games. I was right there, you know, so they'll know that I'm with you all. I didn't want to just leave them and say, you're not a part of this program, because we're all a family together. So they know that you're the foundation, we're going to build it together. So I was right there with them.
Well, I think that helps the students transition into high school.
Yes.
They've got a familiar face, they know someone, there's someone to go to when there's an issue or a problem.
Yeah.
I think that helps those kids really lock onto someone that they know is in their corner at the end of the day.
Yeah.
As you move forward with the playoffs, can you kind of tell me, do you feel like you guys are starting to play well here at the right time, and that you're ready for your opponent, and you're ready for the district playoffs here this week?
Yeah, we're more of a post-dominant team. We don't really have many guards. So we have to transition some of our post play to help with the guard play. So it makes it a little tougher because most other teams are well-rounded. So our play is more, we have to do everything as a team. Everyone has to play more than one role. So we all have to gel together and make everything more efficient and cohesive. So everyone has to work together. So if we all play together, talk and communicate, we can all help each other out, and we can be that team that I know we can be.
That's great. One thing I was excited about was that you and the boys both get to be the home team.
Yeah.
Although technically, we're not going to play at McLain
Yeah.
because of construction and the
Yes.
parking or lack of parking. So we were able to move that game over to Rogers, which, if you had to pick some place that was home away from home, I guess Rogers High School would be probably as close as anybody that we could. But I think it'll be an exciting time that we get to host, and you guys are the home team as we're going to be hosting Newcastle there. But I want to wish you luck and hope that you guys continue to get better and build your program. Are there any parting words that you'd like to leave us here as you get ready to start the playoffs?
If anyone's watching, come support us.
We know that you guys will do a great job and that your kids are ready.
Yes.
Appreciate you being on the show today.
Thank you.
I want to wish you luck as the playoffs roll around, and then obviously to prepare for the summer and get ready for summer basketball so that you can build this program into a contender next year as well. So, Kashima, Frierson, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back with Inside Tulsa Athletics after this break.
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Thank you for joining us today on Inside Tulsa Athletics. Once again, I'm Mick Wilson, that was your host, and we want to wish J.V. Haney a speedy recovery and a quick return so that we can get this show back on the right track. Once again, thanks again for joining us, and we wish all of the Tulsa Public Schools teams good luck in the playoffs and the state tournaments. Thank you for joining us.